What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a Chicago Bulls and San Antonio Spurs game reaction. The king in the fourth quarter himself, DeMar DeRozan, dropped 19 points to secure our 4-game winning streak with a big win against the San Antonio Spurs, and only one game left until that All-Star break, where finally some players could just sit back, relax, enjoy the All-Star break, and let's get back to it right afterwards. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bull Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls game today. Who was your player of the game, and your overall thoughts and opinions on everything that happened in today's game. We won the game 120-109. Now, things were definitely very frustrating in this game, especially on the defensive end for the Chicago Bulls. A lot of cuts, a lot of movement from the San Antonio Spurs that made the Bulls defense very uncomfortable. But when it mattered the most in the fourth quarter, we ended up putting up a massive defensive display, and of course, the king of the fourth quarter himself, DeMar DeRozan, sealed the win for the Chicago Bulls. At the end of the day, we can't be picky about how we choose to win these types of games. Of course, I would love nothing more than to see the Bulls kind of blow out the Spurs at home, give our starters a little bit of a rest, and allow our bench to come in and play some big minutes as well. But we can't be picky. We are in a situation right now where we don't have Zach LaVine at the moment, and we don't know when he'll be coming back. That's one of our best players that is missing for the Chicago Bulls. So we can't be picky. We take every win as it comes along, and I'm very, very happy that we beat the San Antonio Spurs without Zach LaVine, and we ended up extending our win streak to 4. Very, very important wins now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to make this video terribly long because I do have somewhere to be, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to quickly go into the individual performances. We'll mention the more important players on the team today. We're going to be starting off with, obviously, Io, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists in today's game. He got fouled out, ladies and gentlemen, late on in this game, the second time in his NBA career. But again, the standing ovation when he did get fouled out just shows how valuable he is to the Chicago Bulls team and how much the fans appreciate what he does. He had some really good defensive displays, made some big shots when it mattered the most, and of course, he did have a couple of nice transition plays and assists, and even passes to assists that won't really show on the stat sheet. Nikola Vucevic had 25 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists with a block in today's game. I liked Nikola Vucevic in the paint, of course. He was 1 from 7 from the three-point line. I did not really enjoy that as much as a Chicago Bulls fan, I guess you could say. A lot of his damage was done in the paint and in the mid-range, and I really liked when he kept on going to it. But there were some instances in the game, mainly in the first half, where he just relied heavily on the perimeter, and it backfired on him a little bit as well. So we've seen what Vucevic can do in the paint, and I'd like to see him be more consistent and stick with those paint shots a lot more than the perimeter. And I think 1 from 7, even 7 shots in total from the perimeter, in my opinion, is too much for Nikola Vucevic. Then we got DeMar DeRozan that had 40 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists in today's game. Again, another 40 piece for DeMar DeRozan, the 3rd of his season. Unbelievable how good he was in today's game. The thing with DeMar DeRozan is he turns it on in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, he scored nearly as much points as the San Antonio Spurs team in total. He had an unbelievably strong fourth quarter, 8 from 8 from the foul line as well. He ended up getting a tech in this game also from frustration, but it's good to see, again, switching it up in the fourth quarter. He's a different breed, ladies and gentlemen. He's a different beast, and he is our MVP, and another MVP caliber performance to pick up a very important victory against the Spurs, his former side as well, so you love to see that as well. Javon Green had 7 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. He actually, for some instances, didn't get a lot of minutes compared to others, but again, his offense wasn't terrific today, only 2 from 6, but again, it's cutting to the basket, it's getting to the foul line, and things of that nature, forcing the defense to collapse on him because of his athleticism, and he cuts with a purpose. It's always great to see Javon Green in that kind of mood. Obviously, this is his first game back. I'm very happy that he played today. He almost got a double-double, and he made made big impacts on the defensive end as well, with a really big stop on Javon Murray. He had a great game today, late on in the fourth quarter. And then we got Coby White, that 24 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists in today's game. Coby White was truly fantastic in every sense of the word. It's really mind-boggling how quickly this guy can turn it on. In the first quarter, the first shot was one of the luckiest bounces in the NBA. And then after that, go mode for Coby White. 3-pointers after 3-pointers, 5 from 6 from the 3-point line today. Got to the foul line as well, took 8 free throw shots. Very, very good for Coby White. And in Zach LaVine's absence, having a guy like that can pretty much heat up at any given time in the game. From the first quarter, he may be cold, but in the fourth quarter, he may just erupt and just go absolutely berserk in scoring. Today, it was very much well-rounded. The only issue I had with Coby White today was the foul trouble, but of course, almost every one of our players kind of got into foul trouble, so that's not just a Coby White issue. But again, it was a really great game from him, and he's stepping up very nicely when in Zach LaVine's absence, and we're going to need to see that in the next game as well. The bench, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the thing about this bench is that's very interesting is that only 2 players once again scored from this bench, which is not good enough in my opinion. Only, I think, 12 points from the bench today. Compared to the San Antonio Spurs and what they did, that's truly something that made this game much closer than it needed to be. The San Antonio Spurs bench was sensational in today's game, and our bench was sorely lacking in scoring and firing power, which goes to show that we do need more players back on this team if we're going to see a really dominant Chicago Bulls team again. Because as long as this bench is not scoring the way that it should be, the more that we'll be in tight situations like this game against the Spurs, probably the next game against the Kings, and other games going forward. Our bench has to be the difference maker, and we have the players to do it, but at the moment they are all out from injury. So Troy Brown Jr. actually had a very good game in my opinion. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist and 1 steal. I thought he was great in today's game. Really nothing much else to say. 3 from 5 from the field, 60%. 2 from 3 from the foul line. Good rebounding once again as well. 2 games in a row where he's had good rebounding numbers. His shot was falling today from the 3-point line. And the hustle plays and those little plays to kind of keep the ball in our possession at times was truly amazing as well. I thought he was definitely our best bench player, and he deserved to have a good game like this after, I would say, a lackluster game in the last time with 0 points, but he got 11 rebounds in that game. And Derrick Jones Jr. had 4 points and 7 rebounds with 1 assist, 2 from 7 from the field and 0 from 1 from the 3-point line. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to keep expecting games like this from Derrick Jones Jr. because he's playing hurt. And I don't know if it's the right decision to keep him playing hurt or not. It's a pain tolerance thing according to him. He can't mess it up anymore. And if he could deal with the pain, then he's probably going to keep on playing. Defensively, he was strong. I admire Derrick Jones Jr. and Troy Brown Jr. on the defensive end. I think those two are really solid wing defenders at times. But yeah, I appreciate Derrick Jones Jr.'s defense in this game. But offensively, I don't know if he's ever going to be an efficient offensive player until that hand heals up a little bit. I don't really trust him from the 3-point line, which is why he probably doesn't take as many these days. And again, things like from the free throw line and stuff of that nature, I expect Derrick Jones Jr. to be a force in the paint when he's there. But in terms of everything else, I'm not really expecting much from him, at least in this period of time. Let's see what he could do in a few weeks' time or in a month's time. Let's just see if that consistency can start to develop out of him. The must improve for the Chicago Bulls, it's a little bit of a difficult one to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, because again, 2 bench players really only scored, and I'm not going to give a must improve because I know many people will give it to Derrick Jones Jr., but again, he just came back from injury. It's not fair to put all the pressure on bench players that have returned from injury. This is his 2nd game back, and Troy Brown Jr. had a fantastic game. Matt Thomas and Tony Bradley played nowhere near enough for me to give it to them. So no must improve. I know it was a very close game and we were very frustrating at times to watch. So there is probably someone out there that I'm forgetting, but until obviously you guys let me know who that is, I'm not going to give a must improve for this game. And obviously the king of the fourth quarter, DeMar DeRozan, is going to get the player of the game for me. Another 40 piece with 7 assists in the game and just in absolute takeover mode in the fourth quarter. Again, this is in the beginning of the season, having a 40-point game like this from DeMar DeRozan, I would be jumping for joy at how proud I was with DeMar DeRozan of a game like that. But now it's become the norm for DeMar DeRozan. He kind of has to have these types of games just so we can stay in these games and win them. DeMar DeRozan has been carrying us all month of February, and he should be very happy that he's having this level of play in the February period, and hopefully he can keep it up. But thankfully, when our team is fully healthy, I don't need DeMar DeRozan to drop 40. We don't need DeMar DeRozan to drop 40 every single night when our team is fully healthy. But unfortunately, our team is not fully healthy, and he's having to carry the load in that way. And hopefully, it pays off towards the playoff season where he's had the moments now where he can take over a game. And in those playoff moments, we're going to need him to do the same thing. So it's like practice in many ways, the regular season to practice for the playoffs. And he's really delivering on the court for the Chicago Bulls. Our record, ladies and gentlemen, is 37-21. Again, I think we currently sit still second in the Eastern Conference at the moment. Again, I'm not sure what Miami did, if they play today or when the next time they play. That's good to see, ladies and gentlemen. 4-game win streak for the Chicago Bulls. And again, these are teams that we're expected to beat. And speaking of teams we're expected to beat, it might be difficult, but I still feel like the Bulls have a very strong chance against the Sacramento Kings. The new look Sacramento Kings, ladies and gentlemen. Look, it's going to be a hard game. This game against the Spurs, it's a hard game. I would pretty much go out on a limb and say almost every single team out in the West is going to be a hard game. Sacramento have a new team. They're going to have a new energy, a new confidence within themselves to come to Chicago and try to beat our team. Now, I still believe we have enough to beat them, but trust me, no game is guaranteed with the Chicago Bulls team. But if we win this game, it's a 5-game win streak, and that's exactly what I want to see heading into, obviously, the All-Star break. We continue and end the All-Star break, or we start the All-Star break on a very high note, and it gives players rest, gives players times to adjust, and of course, for players like Zach LaVine that could still potentially come back after this All-Star break, it gives him a chance to rest up as well. So it's a beautiful thing, this All-Star break. I think we really need this type of break and this period to allow us to become, I guess, healthy again, or get closer to the guys coming back fully healthy. That's what I'm looking forward to, ladies and gentlemen. But with the Kings, they're going to attack us in the paint. We know kind of how they're going to play. They do have great paint players. They have some decent shooters as well. Again, Harrison Barnes is one to look out for. But all in all I'm going to say is they're going to probably attack us in the paint, and that is our weakness at the end of the day. So we have to crowd the paint. We have to make sure that they don't get easy looks. And again, if everything goes the way that it did in today's game against the Kings, we might walk away with the win. But overall, if they keep attacking us, eventually we will see the Chicago Bulls have a very difficult time to stop the Sacramento Kings. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace. By the way, also, happy Valentine's Day to everybody.